Hi guys, Tracy and Doss. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be recapping my favorite show, Married at First Sight Australia. And this is episode 34, season 13. So let's get started. Another conversation where Elisa speaks right over David. I mean, nothing's new there. Every time he speaks, she talks right over him.
But it
doesn't even matter, babe. I was just blindsided. I was just
like you rightfully said, you felt blindsided.
Because you don't talk to me.
And to
You
me,
don't talk to me.
No,
You don't talk to me.
I feel like
to me, it doesn't make
David,
sense.
please tell this girl that she's not letting him speak. Why isn't anybody pointing this out? She is completely not aware that she's doing this, or she's just so used to doing it to everybody that she doesn't notice how much it's ruining her relationship. And then she calls him out for not speaking up. Well, he tries to. You can see it over and over again. She just cuts him right off. It's so hard to watch. But why isn't he letting her know she's doing that? Beck and Gia are playing besties. I mean, what's going on here? That is so weird. That's so Gia, really. I mean, she'll just befriend anybody, even her arch nemesis, which has been Beck all along. They've been fighting so much that now their husbands are fighting. She's totally ruined the relationship between her husband, Scott, and Beck's husband, Danny. I mean, they don't even hang out. And now these two are having wine together and talking negative about their husbands. Gia and Beck can relate to each other right now because both of their men are acting like boys according to them. And the girls aren't getting what they need from these men, and they're talking about it to each other. Scott feels like the minute he speaks up, Gia lashes out.
Finally came clean on the crisis in his marriage.
I feel like there's a bit of pressure of me to say I'm in love, and when I don't say it, Gia will tend to say things like, "You're a crumb, you're not a man, you're not a provider." Pretty much every name under the sun.
Danny called Gia a runner, and he couldn't be more accurate because that's what she does every time Scott says anything at all negative about their relationship. She just bolts, takes off, and leaves him spinning. He's not even sure if she's still around because she's actually left before, and he wasn't sure if she was going to come back then. This is like a common theme for her. She does this all the time. It's her way of getting control back in the relationship, and it's really hurting their relationship and hurting Scott on a really deeply profound level. It's really sad to see. Gia got thrown under the bus, according to her, and Danny is by himself. Danny couldn't believe when he reached out to Beck and he hears Gia is with her. He's like, what? We don't get along with Gia. You made sure that I didn't get along with Gia. And now you're hanging out with her? That's not a good move. And Scott believes he and Gia could be so good together if they could just stop fighting. It's like she's trying to find some reason for them to get in an argument. Just like she picked apart his house, and just like she picks apart him all the time on a daily basis. That's not a good feeling. You know, Beck, she's just stirring the pot, and anytime Gia says something, yeah, no, you're right. He's not a good boy, not a good husband. No, he's terrible. He's treating you horribly. He doesn't treat her horribly, not even in the least. He treats her like a princess.
So obviously Commander Ceremony last night was a bit, he kind of threw me under the bus. Yeah.
I'm personally just wondering how long it'll be for these two to go at it again. I mean, they've never gotten along, and they're not going to get along in the future. Boy, these experts really know how to put a wrench in things, and they're doing so with this next task they have. During the matching process, there was more than one person that the participants were matched up with. So what do? At this very difficult time in the relationship for most of the couples, they decide to have a dinner party with the participants and their number 2 match. The ultimate test of trust and security, more like insecurity. This isn't going to go over well. How could this benefit the relationship at all? I don't see one benefit from doing this, but apparently they do. It's really all about respect, if you ask me. Maybe that's what they're checking to see, how respectful these people are going to be of each other's relationship and how much they want to protect it and not use it as a weapon. Scott stayed in a separate apartment, which is shocking. He's never done that before. He was not happy to hear Gia was hanging out with Beck and that she didn't tell him the truth about it. She didn't say, I'm having drinks with Beck. He just heard Beck in the background and he called her out on it because she didn't divulge that information to him. Neither Scott nor Danny were okay with it, and I think that's why the girls did it. They knew the guys would be so pissed at them. Scott gets real with Gia. He is tired of her running away when things get a little difficult. Scott can deny it all he wants, but he's in love with Gia, and we all know it. He's just not ready to admit it. And he needs changes in this relationship because he's really getting hurt on such a deep level that he doesn't want to spend his whole life like this, having her manipulate and hurt his feelings on purpose just to get back at him for whatever he hasn't really done. Beck is once again disappointed in herself. I mean, she needs to grow up. I feel like she has no control over her actions. And at her age, she should have control over her decisions. To know that tomorrow morning, I am not going to like that I went for wine with Gia and talked about my problems with her, because we all know that Gia uses this as ammunition in the future, just like Beck does. So why would you be honest and talk about any of your heartfelt feelings with each other if that's the relationship you have? I mean, she said some really mean things about Danny. She said that he looked like a frog. Danny doesn't look like a frog. So rude. I have a feeling, though, Danny would find that funny. Something just tells me he would find humor in that. Danny's actually really pretty sweet with her. He treats her really nicely. He jokes around a bit. Maybe he hasn't told her he loves her. He's not there yet. But all in all, he's quite nice to her. He says there's two sides to Beck. One side is just near perfect and the other side impossible. I mean, that's really a nice thing to say, actually, considering how she is. I hope she hears this because I think she'll like hearing that. Or maybe not. Maybe she'll find that negative. Maybe she'll find something wrong in that statement. I don't know. The final task has been delivered to the group. This is not going to go over well. It's going to be quite a doozy, I think. I can't wait. It's going to be an absolute nightmare, actually. The task is designed to push you out of your comfort zone. Well, pairing my husband or my wife up with somebody else that would be perfect for them as well wouldn't go over very well with me. I mean, these are beautiful men and women who have a lot going for them. And the timing for a lot of these couples when they're not doing very well, I mean, yikes, not a good idea at all. When Philippe says nothing can throw him, I wish he hadn't said that. I mean, no relationship is indestructible. So why tempt it? I don't think it's a good idea. And I just really don't see how this can be beneficial at all. I would be so upset. I wouldn't be able to enjoy myself at all. I would be thinking about, how's this gonna look? What's my husband doing? I'm sure a lot of them are thinking that exact thing. You know, flirty can be fun, but it can also be very disrespectful to your spouse and partner, and really quite awful if you're not in a good place, which a lot of them aren't. It could feel pretty terrible seeing your mate flirt with someone else. Even though Rachel and Steven are in such a great place, that doesn't mean her insecurities aren't going to come out, because they are. And she seems incredibly upset at the thought of this, and she's not going to enjoy herself. Not at all. David doesn't want to do the task. He and Scott are absolutely against it. They both know the repercussions will be harsh. And I feel like everyone is uncomfortable but Danny. Danny is having the time of his life. I mean, remember, Danny used to be quite the party boy. And he's trying to change his life, but he still is that person at the heart and soul of him. Stella is so secure in a relationship, but she's far from giddy about the task. She wants to be with Philip. She doesn't want to be with anybody else. Rachel is coming out of her skin. I mean, she looks like she's gonna cry. Rachel, don't worry about Steven. You're good, honey. He is got your back. And he's a good man. Got a good one there. You guys have done your work. You've built a really strong foundation. And he respects you. And you respect him. So you're not going to try to hurt his feelings. Not like Alyssa. Talk about disrespectful. She just wants to hurt her man. I don't know why she's so mean. I really liked Alyssa. I can't believe she just wants to hurt David so bad. He's been nothing but lovely to her. I mean, the others besides Philippe and Stella are totally screwed. I mean, none of them are in a good place. I'm not even sure if these experts explained to these girls and guys that they're not available. These couples are all in relationships. And I don't think they care on either side. I don't know who's more upset, David or Scott. But the men are definitely more upset about this than the women. The women are just having the best time of their lives, talking and drinking and eating and talking and just, you know, the way a dinner party should be. And David and Scott have removed themselves from the table and the dinner party, and they're hiding out in the bathroom. They don't know what to do. They just know that if their women find out, it's going to be a war. And wait till they find out what happens next. I don't think they realize they're being, well, they know they're being filmed, but I don't think they realize that their partners are going to see this. Danny is so disappointed that the guys are acting like such immature little boys. He's like, can't we all just have a nice time, ask some questions, get some feedback, and have a nice dinner? They should be able to if they're in the right relationship. Alyssa's paired up with Connor, and he's pretty cute. He's loud and proud, and he's a talker. I mean, he makes Alyssa look like a quiet little church mouse. Alyssa can't be with a talker. You would just talk over each other. No one would remember anything about the other because they talked over each other the whole time. It would just be disastrous. Philippe is talking about Stella the whole time to these girls, and that's the way it should be. He's totally in love with his girl, and it doesn't matter how pretty you are, that's his girl. And, you know, obviously Stella's gorgeous, but he's just not interested in anybody. He found his person. Rachel lets Ignatius know she is smitten with Steven, and Steven feels the same. He only has eyes for his girl, and he only has Rachel on his mind. Beck's type is someone who loves animals and has good teeth. Wow, big aspirations there, Beck. Maybe this is why you can't seem to be in a long-term relationship. She also wants someone to have sex with her. And she tells this guy this, and he's like, I can do that. Chanel seems sweet and soft and comforting. And she was Danny's match. I think this would have been a great match. It wouldn't have been as much fun to watch, but she's hot and she's sexy, and I think this is more Danny's type. And she's not so bossy. Beck is so bossy, and she talks to Danny like he's her child. That's not good in a relationship. Danny's having a great time, though. He's making the best of his situation. He'll deal with Beck when he gets back home, but she's going to light him up when she sees this flirtatious behavior. But she's got to know what she's dealing with, because this is Danny on the day-to-day, not Danny locked away in a little box with Beck. She's definitely going to be pissed. Gia is airing her dirty laundry, and nobody in a relationship is going to appreciate that. James is love bombing Gia, and she's eating it up, boy. She is a girl that likes her ego stroked. She's here for it. Rachel doesn't like how Gia is vibing with James. It'll break Scott's heart, and she doesn't think it's very respectful, and it's not. And you know what? She's doing it on purpose. Gia knows our boys are going to see these tapes. She's not stupid. The boys were gentlemen, and they treated the girls well, and they respected their wives at the same time. And I think Alyssa and Gia especially thought this was just a big game, and they didn't really take their husband's feelings into consideration. And it's going to blow up their relationships. This might be the last straw for both couples. We'll see. I thought this was a great episode. It kind of gave me a little bit of a tummy ache to see how they were treating each other. But it was very telling, and it shows you where they are in their relationships. So, guys, I'm going to drop the next episode really soon. I hope you enjoyed this, and take care of yourselves. Have an absolutely wonderful week. Bye.